let's keep things rolling here. I'm about to go do a third gear pull for Frank. Well, I had the car idling just now for a few minutes. Idle started sounding not so great. It started kind of stumbling on itself, but I came back and the check engine light was on. So I'm a little bit scared that that P16 is back. I don't have the MAF installed right now, so I can't think of any reason why it would be throwing that code again. Yep, 2 actually. Another one was P1602 power supply terminal 30 low voltage. It might just be like the battery's just a little bit low maybe. Engine control module. Supply voltage low from battery. Yeah, so it just says that the battery current is low. I don't know what the hell to do about this P0016. I'm just gonna clear it. Just read it, make sure it's 0, okay. I'm just gonna start up the car again while logging and see if it comes back. This thing is bullshit, man. Okay, that was kind of weird. So you see how it's acting completely fine now. It's not throwing the check engine light. The code's not coming back. I can rev it up. Sounds completely healthy. So now you guys can see my difficulty in this. Acts completely fine, then all of a sudden it'll just throw that code and not be happy. Well, I'm gonna try taking it for a quick drive right now, just see what happens. Back into my house right now, and I have some bad news. My clutch is slipping around like 6,000 RPM, no matter what gear I'm in, second, third, doesn't really matter. My clutch can't handle it, which is a real shame considering this is a FX 725. This thing is extremely heavy duty clutch, and I installed it, well actually I had a shop install it only 6,000 miles ago. So that's a real shame. I don't know what the hell is going on. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the clutch is just dirty and it needs to just kind of like clean itself up a little bit since it hasn't been used in a while. I don't know if you need to like, I don't know. But if I have to get new clutch plates or resurface my flywheel or any of that, I'm not going to be happy because it's been 6,000 miles and that whole time I was driving with my KO4. So it was like 400 foot-pounds and 400 foot-pounds peak, and then it like just tapers off. The torque isn't that, I mean the torque hits hard on the KO4 up to 400 foot-pounds, but then it drops down. It can't hold that. I'm gonna have to just contact Clutch Masters and see what they have to say about this. If I absolutely need to, I'll drop the trans and I'll just, I guess, get new clutch plates or get, I don't know if it's the pressure plate or what it is, but that just kind of sucks. Yeah, other than that, the car acted fine on the test drive. There was no issues with the test drive. I mean, the turbo's spooling insanely slow, but I'm gonna throw something else at it here. So we got some seal rings that go inside the cam cover. They go around this little piece in the cam cover that feeds the cam adjuster. So if these are cracked or worn out and they don't seal properly, then oil will not properly go into the right holes for the cam adjuster. So the cam adjuster basically will not be able to function properly. I'm thinking that this might be the cause of my problems because the issue that I'm having only happens when the car is up to operating temperature, when the oil is thinner, which means that when the oil can like sneak by the seals. So when the oil is cold, I'm not having the same symptoms because at that point the oil is thicker and it's not able to get past the seals. That is the hypothesis. We'll see if that is actually the case. I also have new gasket for the cam cover because that is a one-time use gasket. This right here. gasket for the cam cover. I'm gonna get my intake out of the way, then the fuel pump, the vacuum pump, and then the cam cover. And probably the battery too. Instead of showing everything, I'm just gonna skip ahead to getting the cam cover off so that I can just show you what I'm talking about. And hopefully we'll see some broken off rings. Okay, so hopefully one of those rings is cracked. I'll go bring it into some better light to look at it. I think all my rings look fine. None of them are cracked. None of them are missing any pieces. My rings look good. They don't look like they're damaged at all. The one thing I noticed though is that I do not have an oil passage filter in here. There's supposed to be a little filter in here. I do not have one. That whole oil line may be clogged up, so I'm gonna have to spray that out and see if a bunch of stuff comes out. That could be my problem. Maybe I just have clogged up oil lines here. The reason I don't have one is because this is the cam cover that I got as part of the TSI roller cam conversion. See right there, you can see that adapter piece that fits into that extra wide hole right there. It was just a machined, it's an OEM cam cover, but it's just machined out so that that adapter fits in there, so that I can use a roller cam follower right there that the TSI uses. So that's the OEM TSI roller right there, so that I don't need to use the flat, failure prone FSI roller. So basically my oil hole could be clogged up because there's no filter. So my OEM housing should be around here somewhere. I just got to dig it up, and I'm sure that has the oil passage screen in there. So if it's possible to swap it over without damaging it, then that's what I'll do. I'll clean this hole out as best as I can and then swap over that screen and see if that does the trick. But I'm gonna have to take everything apart here and blast out all the oil holes to make sure that there's no crud in any of them. Well, I found the other one, so here's my original, and sure enough, there is the filter. There's that oil passage screen, just a little screen in there. Looks like I can probably pull it out carefully with some small tools. I'm just brake cleaning this, brake cleaning that oil hole, and I'm trying to see if anything comes out of it. I'm hoping that it's just kind of like semi-clogged, and that's causing my problem. So that hole splits off and it goes to there, which is a little hole around the vacuum pump, the rotating part of the vacuum pump, and then the rest of it shoots up that guy, which goes to that little hole in there on the bottom of the screen, which feeds the solenoid, and then the solenoid can then control which holes the oil goes to on this piece. So I'm just gonna spray brake cleaner everywhere, every which direction, and then maybe I'll even hit it with the air compressor, just so that I can make sure everything gets blown out of there. Show you that I got the little filter screen out, the oil passage screen. It's nice and clean. I'm gonna pop this in the cam cover that I actually use. Figures I drop it and make it dirtier. But I got it out using one of these guys. So I went like that in there, and then got a little bite on it, and then just pulled it straight out, because it has like this big plastic end on it. I wouldn't pry at the sides of it. You're probably gonna damage the seal it has on that hole, and then it might pop back out. Actually, I don't know if it's possible for it to pop out, because I assume that it is bigger than the hole that it seals up to. I mean, that would just make sense, so that it can't come out and go into the head. Man, I feel bad for this camera, because like, I'm constantly touching oil and brake cleaner and coolant and gas, and then I'm touching the camera with the same hand. So it's impossible for it to come out and go into the head, which is good. So as long as you get that in there decently, it should stay there. Didn't really find anything conclusive. The only thing I found out was that I'm missing my passage screen, and you know, that could mean that I had some stuff clogged up in there. I did blow it out a lot, so if it was clogged, it should be good now. I just got everything wrapped back up. I'm just putting my battery tray back on right now. It's about 10:30 right now, which means it's too late for me to start up my car, because right now my car is running open down pipe and it is loud as hell. So I'll be polite to my neighborhood right now. Tomorrow I will be able to start it and hopefully go for a test drive. I'll resume this video tomorrow and hopefully whatever I just did fixes it. Just got home from work and fired up my car. Sounds okay so far. If it does come back, I'm not really sure what to do next. This is me trying to hold at 2,000. So I'll do this again when the engine warms up and we'll see what happens. All right, I'm almost at operating temp. Ignition advance is starting to jump around more and the idle doesn't sound as smooth. I'm gonna see what happens now when I bring it up to like 2,000. See, now it's doing that thing where it's bouncing up and down. Okay, so I definitely still have that problem. I'm gonna see if the fault code comes back. I'm gonna see if I can take it for a short drive. Still looks fine. All right, yeah, I'm gonna go for a short drive and just see how this goes. The dogs love my car, dude. Look at the dogs. They love it. All my other neighbors hate it. All my neighbors are staring. Well, no knocking so far. Let's try to see if that response is any better now. Response is no better. Downshifting still feels like really slow. Everything's acting completely normal right now, besides the slow downshifts and the engine almost dying out sometimes when I put it into neutral. I'm gonna do a little second gear pull here, just so you can see my clutch slip. You can see how slow this boosts, this spools. Code or any knock or like cylinder or like timing retard. The ignition advance is still jumping around a fair amount. I haven't shut the car off yet. Last time the problem happened after I had the car sitting for a little while, then I fired it back up, revved it a couple times, and then it didn't like it. Or like I think I put it into reverse, started driving, and then it started acting up, something like that. I'm not saying that I fixed it, but the symptoms aren't coming back yet. But now idling here for a couple minutes, I can see what happens when I just rev it a couple more times. To start up. I don't know if that's because the battery voltage is low. I'm going to resort to logging my cam adjustment now. I'm going to see if I can find the measuring blocks to do that. Okay, so now I'm logging. So 91 is going to see what my cam timing is, I believe. And I think 94 is going to be telling me what my adjuster is doing. I don't know, let's just give this a shot. Let's getting kind of late, so I don't really want to be running my car much later than this. Holy shit, I'm off by a tooth. I'm still off by a tooth. That's fucking crazy. Because that is spec. I'm 28 above that. So I may even be off by multiple teeth. My car is running really well for being off by a tooth. That's crazy, man. Hopefully I'm not damaging anything running this. Holy shit. As the engine's warming up a little bit, it's actually dropping down a little bit. Alright, the valve cover is coming off again because my cam timing might still be off. So I don't want to have to do this again, but it's coming off. So let's see if I can confirm for sure that my cams are timed properly. Alright, I got the valve cover off for the 5th time in the last 3 weeks. So let's grab this intake cam, stock intake cam. Oh, I need to put it at top dead center first. Alright, you might be able to see it down there, but the timing mark is lined up down there, and the timing mark is lined up right there, so we are at top dead center now. So let's look at the intake cam again. So let's just see what it looks like here. So the cam I have in there, it looks like it is about 1 tooth too advanced, which is what I was guessing. So it looks like I need to retard it by 1 tooth. Man, I really hope this is the issue. Man, how did I mess that up? I don't know if I'm gonna actually fix this right now. I might do it tomorrow morning. I might just put the valve cover on temporarily, and yeah, might just do this tomorrow. Good morning, guys. I'm gonna adjust my cam right now, first thing in the morning. Don't really have any other time to do it other than right now, bright and early. So let's go ahead and do that. Not really gonna show much of this because I'm pretty sure I showed this whole process in a previous video, and recording slows me down a lot, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this as fast as I can. All right, here's the scary part. I got my cam adjuster bolt all heated up with a heat gun. I have the special socket heated up with a heat gun as well. There it is, cooling off. And I got my air cat ready. Let's give this guy a go. And hopefully my bolt doesn't explode and my socket doesn't break, because I've had both of those happen. It's tricky getting the socket perfectly on there, so you actually got to do that before you put it on the gun. Oh wow, I actually got it first try, I think. That thing was not budging. Well, it didn't break. I was not budging at all. Alright, I got the adjuster on and I rotated the crank twice. Back to top dead center now, and now that keyway right there for the vacuum pump looks nice and perpendicular relative to the motor. So I'm gonna tighten down the adjuster and get everything back on. Okay, I just pulled off the valve cover again. Here is the stock cam. Looks like that is as close as lined up as I can to where it should be. The lobes do appear to be perfectly where they are. You know, comparing that one to that one, and looking at, you know, this one compared to this one, they look perfect. Looks like I'm good. And this is at top dead center. As you can see right there, I even pulled the intake, or the exhaust cam, the stock exhaust cam out, and just checked that as well. Oh, almost just got shit in my engine. I'm gonna go ahead and put everything back together, fire up, and hopefully everything's good. Okay, I got everything hooked back up. Even got the battery hooked up. Just making sure the intake didn't pop off the turbo. Still looks good. Valve cover torqued down. That vacuum pump torqued down. Cam cover torqued down. Fuel pump torqued down. All my connectors back in. Vacuum line back in. Connector down there back in. Oil packs back in and plugged in. All my hoses are good. So we are good to go. I have that little jumper on there just because that battery I think is still a little bit low. I haven't been able to go for a long drive to really charge it up. Alright, here we go. I can't believe this, but the tensioner, once it gets oil pressure, is rotating this cam. So even though it may start out correct right there, once there's oil pressure, it then rotates like that, and that's actually the position that it's in. So really, I'm off by a tooth still. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. That's where I'm at right now. I'm advanced a tooth still. What I should have done, I didn't do. So I should have just marked the cams where they were and then just rotated it, you know, made sure that I was rotating at one tooth. Instead, it's not what I did. And that bolt is a stretch bolt, so I can't reuse that. And that gasket is not reusable either. So I can't even do this weekend now. Unless this stuff is in stock somewhere. So I'm gonna see if I can pick this up maybe at Europa. I don't even know if they're open on Saturday, but if they're not, this whole weekend might be kind of a waste.